Welcome to Adam Builds, Colorado. This is my renovation on Iris Street, and it is the 66th week of the renovation. I didn't think much happened, but it was actually a super busy week. I do everything from angle grinding to plumbing to electrical, and I even start on a radon system, so let's just dive right in. Good evening, it's the 26th of January, and today I'm just working on a few tasks that need to get done before the insulation goes in. I realized I need to put a couple of outlets up on the ceilings or at the top so that I can plug in some lighting. I want my cabinets to have cove lighting above and below, just kind of a nice accent feature. It's also been a good time to double check anything else, which is some of the stuff I'll be knocking out tonight. Let's get to it. The first task here is to get electricity to the new electrical outlet boxes for the cabinet lighting. Luckily, I'll be able to tap into this light switch gang box for the kitchen lighting that's already right there. There is way more than enough watts on this circuit to support the load. The next thing I'm working on is adding 2 more speakers to the living room. Currently there's 4. If I add 2 more, that'll bring it up to 6, and it'll give me a nice pattern of rows of light, speaker, light, speaker, light, speaker, light, and that'll make the room really symmetrical. The other thing I want to do before insulation goes in is to run speaker wire for the new 2 speakers, and last but not least, cut some plastic so that I can put it down over these holes. I'll need to install the speakers after the drywall is textured and after the insulation goes in, so I need to prevent the insulation from falling through those holes in the meantime. It's Thursday here, and we're getting more snow again. We've just been getting so much snow these last few weeks, and I'm kind of okay with it. It's real pretty. Continuing on with the cabinet lighting gang boxes, I'm adding 1 more in this corner, and I'll add 1 more in that left corner. That'll be a total of 3 gang boxes, and by putting 1 in each of those corners, I won't have any exposed wiring, and it'll be a really clean installation. Here I'm just installing a little bit of 1x6 common board on the back of the fireplace framing so the drywall has good purchase in the corners. The final project of the night is cutting out this concrete curb. I've already cut the wood, but my friend recommended using a little angle grinder with a masonry bit, and that worked beautifully. I just used my garden hose here with a tiny bit of water to keep dust down, gave it a grind to smooth things up, washed it down, and I have a beautiful new doorway. I'm really happy with how it came out. I keep upgrading this gang box in the kitchen. At first it was a single gang for all the can lights. Then I added a 2 gang so I could have above and below cabinet lighting. I've now added a 3rd gang, and that's so I can have lights right over the bar, right over here. The bar will take up a 6-foot stretch here and then 2 feet over there by the wall. And so I'm gonna put a couple of lights that will hang from the ceiling up here, and they'll have circular gangs like that fire alarm box. I'll put those in next. While I'm doing this light electrical in the kitchen, I've also refilled this DWV to retest it. It was leaking on the first test. I replaced all this pipe, and it's been an hour, not a single drop has left. When I'm done with the electrical, we'll go up on the roof and see if it's still at the top of the DWV vent pipe. So like I said, I've decided that I need a couple of lights over my bar in the kitchen, just to add some nice decoration to the area. The only downside is, now that drywall's up on the ceiling, it's a little harder to get to, but I think I can fish this line. Well, that's the little brain of wires that I need to pull this way. And let's see if I can do it. Okay. All right, actually that went really smoothly. All that electrical wire for the bar lights up here have been run. So now I'm gonna check the DWV on the roof and see if it's held its water. Look at that. Every drop is still in there, so that's good. Fixing work you've already done is kind of a pain, but I'm glad I redid this whole DWV stack. It was perfectly leak-proof, and I'm confident it's ready for years of use now. I just put some Teflon tape on the clean-out T plug, put it back in with a pipe wrench, and this thing is good to go. After this, I'm gonna jump back on the roof and cut a big old hole. This hole is for my radon system. I don't have a radon system, and my basement has higher than acceptable levels. So again, before that insulation goes in, I'm putting all the flashing in so I can just install the radon system. Well, now that I've got the hole cut in my roof for my radon system, I can focus on some inside jobs. That radon fan won't come until tomorrow, so I can work on some electrical inside. Over there is going to be the 2 hanging lights over the kitchen bar, so I'm going to cut those holes and kind of get those gangs and the wires finished up so that job is done. Details like this cost less than $100 to add, but they're really going to add a lot of character to the kitchen and the bar area, so I'm excited to see the finished product and pick out some fixtures. Next up, I'm going to use some of these scrap 2x4s from the basement framing that was wrong and not to code to put it in the attic to provide some safe walkways for my insulation crew that's coming on the 4th. The other reason I'm doing this is to make it harder for them to step on wires that are up there and cause me electrical problems down the road. This is definitely one of those jobs I should have finished before I put drywall on the ceiling, but I didn't, and it's still possible to do now. Once I got some 2x4s up into the attic, I was able to lay down some highways and nail them down, and I even put some OSB over the 2x4s at the beginning closest to the attic entrance, which is also the place where there's the most wires. Again, the goal here is to provide a walkway for my workers, but prevent damage to wires too. Okay, I think I have enough boards to the main parts of the house so that the insulation crew can come in on Friday and get into my attic and get insulation everywhere. I've really been jumping around tonight. This is one of the last projects, putting up a gang box for my radon system. I just wired in some Romex and it's ready to go. Okay, this is ready for the radon system, which arrives tomorrow. For now, I'll just put a temporary cover plate in place and we'll be good. I didn't remember this week being so productive, but it was a great week. Here, I finally drilled some holes for my Ethernet wires so that they can be neatly organized against the wall where the server rack's gonna go and all the networking hardware, so I'm finally centralizing my Ethernet. February 1st, and it's a Tuesday. How is it February already, guys? It's crazy. So today, my cabinets arrive from the RTA cabinet store. It's gonna be a big old freight delivery, and they'll just plop them down in my driveway. Ironically, we're under a winter storm advisory and are supposed to be getting snow around 4 p.m. So hopefully those cabinets can arrive before that happens. I'll update you when they get here. Getting my cabinets delivered was a really great way to end the week. 2 of the cabinets are back ordered and will get shipped to me whenever the factory can make more. The estimated time is currently about 4 weeks, but everything else arrived. My carrier did lose one of the packages, but it's just a package that has a few of the spacers and little bits of molding, and they will replace it, so I'm not too worried about it. I've got the majority of all my cabinets, and I can actually start putting these together, so this was a really great way to end the week. And just like that, most of my cabinets have arrived. There's a few that'll come in a second shipment, but talk about timing. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's snowing again. We've been getting a lot of snow lately, so I'm glad these arrived and are inside before it started coming down. Even though it's late and snowing, I decided to do a little bit more work tonight. I've already got blocking in for 40-inch cabinets, but my new cabinets are actually only 36 inches, so I have to put in a new set of blocking, which is totally fine. I had some scrap wood and I got these in pretty quickly. So just like that, my kitchen is wired for cabinet lighting and it has blocking for 36-inch cabinets. So I'm feeling pretty good about the insulation when that can finally get installed. For now, it's gonna snow a little bit more, and that's gonna be a wrap on week 66 here of my renovation on Iris Street. I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.